record and get going. Welcome everyone. Zach, scoot over. You're not on the screen.
I never get the full screen. I get like this, half the face.
If you are new and you just joined today or yesterday, welcome. We are so excited to have you on our team. My name is Brittany Hayes, and I'm your Ambassador Diamond Upline.
I'm the special sauce, Zach Hayes.
And we've been in the business for 3 years, and we're just so excited just to really just get super real with you guys on just what it takes to make things happen. And just what, promoting, people think is on the surface versus what it actually takes behind the scenes. And we're just going to share just all the nitty gritty stuff with you guys. Those of you that are new, you maybe don't know this, but whenever you go Ambassador Diamond, you hit the top rank of our company. Our company gifts you an account. It's totally optional. Some people choose not to take it, or some people take it like 3 years later. You can open it up, right away if you want. But they gift you another account that you can literally start all over with. And so you start right back down from distributor and start going right back all the way up.
Pretty
and so
awesome.
When we promoted to ambassador, we just both agreed, and we're, just felt unanimously on this, that we wanted to open it up right away. As soon as we were paid ambassador, that's when you can open it up. We wanted to open it up right away and start, because it's super important to us that you guys see us always down in the trenches with you guys, and that you guys see us always rolling up our sleeves and going, doing all the things that we teach you guys to do. And so we opened it up on May 15th. By the end of May, double promoted to Ruby. And then just this last month, promoted to Emerald. So that was Emerald in 6 weeks. And so we want to share with you guys just like how we made that happen, because I know it can be so easy to think, when you see someone at, a high rank of the company, just to think like, oh, well, now that they're there, things must be easy. But we started over and did it all over again. And I want to just get really transparent with you guys, like what this looked like this time around versus our first time, because we already went through and learned the lessons the first time. And so it was simpler for us because of that. And I just wanted to kind of just share some things with you guys that we learned.
And there were a lot of lessons. Let's just clear that up. And if we could do it all over again, it would be amazing. But all right, starting this thing off, let's clear something up big time, like perception versus reality of promotion months. Like when you're pushing for a promotion, what does it actually look like? Like, does this mystical fog come out and just like a voice say, you will double promote this month? Absolutely not. It is a grind, guys. I mean, it is some hardcore grinding. So Brittany, you just kind of give us like, I don't know, what your perception of like how like our months look, like what the grind looks like, because it's different.
So like Zach said, I think that a lot of times it's easy to see someone promote and think that, oh, everything must have happened perfectly for them that month. Like the stars aligned. I'm just having such a tough time. I don't know what happened, like what luck they fell on. But that really couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, I want to get really transparent with you guys, because I feel like this is something important to lead with. Any month that we've promoted, we actually feel under the biggest attack.
Yes.
The months that we promote, we feel like the most things that can possibly go wrong. We encounter the most negativity. You name it, from all angles, we feel like things are thrown at us. And there's a reason why that happens. And I think it's really important to know this before we go any further, because we could teach you all the things, but if you don't know this, the rest of it isn't really going to matter. The enemy's first line of like his schemes is always going to be to try to get you to quit. Simply put, he wants to defeat you. I think we all know that that's how he works. But some people he knows he can't defeat. He knows that there's some of you who are never going to let him make you quit. You're never, like, you're too tough for that. So you're not gonna give in to what? You're not gonna give in to him actually convincing you to quit. So what's his plan B for those people? His plan B for those people is to distract you, because he knows if he can distract you, that he can keep you just, off spinning your wheels and, really not making a lot of progress. Stall, absolutely, keep you stagnant. His next thing from there is he knows if he can distract you, there's a good chance that he can isolate you. And he knows if he can isolate you, he can control you. And so when you get that through your head, it makes it a lot simpler to not be surprised when things happen, to not be surprised when things are coming at you from all angles, and not get waylaid and fall off your horse and just lay on the ground and say, why in the world is this happening to me? I'm never going to promote. And kind of going into the part about isolation. whenever you are running for anything big, whether you actually are planning on promoting this month, or maybe you're sitting, I'm going to use Jordan as an example. Jordan's presidential diamond. It's a really big jump from going from presidential to ambassador. So she may not be planning on ambassador this month. She may just be getting things ready. So even if that's your situation, you're not actually planning on promoting this month. Maybe you're planning on setting everything and setting the way and then promoting next month. Maybe you are actually planning on promoting this month. Whatever the case may be, you have to stay plugged in, because if you do not plug in and he allows you to feel isolated, that's when he can really start getting a foothold in your mind. And when you let him into your mind, that's when things start going south. That's when I see people start off strong the first week of the month, and then they're nowhere to be found midway through the month.
Your kid gets sick, you and your husband have a huge fight.
You feel like, yeah. And so the way that you get through those things is by staying plugged in, being on Zooms like this. If you see there's a corporate live, tuning in there, you may not feel like getting on that live, but I promise you, there's going to be something someone says that blesses you, that you take away that makes you feel a little bit stronger. When you're having a hard day and you feel like you can't find your own strength, the best thing that you can do is to find your way back to strong people. Because even if you feel weak, if you get close to strong people, you're going to start feeling stronger again, but you're not going to feel stronger again just sitting in a rabbit hole, thinking about how bad everything is.
For me.
So you've got to stay plugged in. Also during a promotion month, doing just more self-development than you've ever done before. Even if, again, you don't feel like it, even if things are crazy, even if your kids are running around, maybe you're at work and you're having to stay overtime, whatever the case may be, like finding a way to do more self-development than you've ever done. Because again, when the attacks come, you need to have your mind strong. You need to be ready for them, and you need to be in a frame of mind where you can handle them with a clear and level head and move on. Which that kind of leads me to my next thing, and that is being in a position where you recover quickly. Resilience, you guys, I'm going to tell you, second to persistence, is the best thing you can have in this business. It's the best virtue that you can develop. You want to be persistent, and you want to be resilient. Things happen, life happens. There's things that knock us down. I'm sitting here looking at all of you guys' beautiful faces right now, and I know so many things about each and every one of you that you guys have come to us about that have, just flat out, I don't usually say this that much, but have flat out just sucked. Like you've had just some hard things happen. And none of us are immune to, things happening that aren't ideal. But getting in that frame of mind where you train yourself to be resilient, you train yourself to get back up, because you know what, like the enemy will do anything he can to knock you down, because he knows if he can keep you knocked down on the ground, he can keep you from, making an impact for the kingdom. But you have to be smarter than that. And I know every single one of you is smarter than that, but sometimes in our weak moments, we forget who we are, and we forget that we're stronger than our circumstances. And so I want to say, if you don't take anything else away from this, get in the frame of mind that you tell yourself over and over, things might happen, but I'll get back up and get going. That means if you and your husband get in a fight, guys, I know you guys think this, Zach's so charming. You guys think he's perfect.
He's pretty charming.
He's kind of dumb sometimes.
He's really dumb.
And says things he shouldn't say.
Stupid stuff.
And sometimes, I'm over there, hustling, like talking to a million people, and then my brain's fried and I get off and he says something dumb. We might get in a fight. But you know what? Like we've learned that we have to remember, if things start going south, we've got to be like, wait a second. And we've got to pull ourselves back to reality and get back focused. And
you have to expect it, because like whenever you're pushing promotion, like you said, it's coming. And so we'll be fighting about something so stupid. And we're like, what are we doing? And like, the devil's trying to distract us. We're like, you're right. So we know it's coming. And so immediately strips our guard down so we can work through it.
But I want to say, just in the name of transparency, it took us a while to get smarter about this stuff. Like when we were going triple diamond, you guys, 2 years ago, we weren't that smart. We were letting it go way too far. But we've learned, like, you know what, like when that happens, like we have to take a step back and realize like what's happening. Like we never fight. Why are we fighting 3 days before the end of the month? And so maybe for you, it's your mom calls and your mom is just like picking a fight with you. She's just nitpicking about something, that cousin that's kind of negative is all of a sudden in your ear that day. And you're like, what is going on? Like, that's when you have to take a step back and you have to realize, okay, this is bigger than what it seems in the moment. I can't I can't be naive to the enemy's schemes. I've got to look the other way. I've got to pick myself back up, pick up the pieces, and I've got to just continue on going. And again, this applies to everything. This applies if your kids are driving you crazy. It applies if your boss is being a jerk. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, get in the frame of mind where you pick yourself back up and you keep going.
Yep.
I promise you, if you'll just train yourself to do that, you will find that this month and the months to come are so much better than the months you've had before.
All right, so I was going to do another part, but like let's start with the importance, because this kind of plays into mindset, the importance of guarding your tongue, watching the words that come out of your mouth, the way that you describe your promotion, the way that you're talking about your progress. Words matter, and you can speak things into existence that you don't even realize are happening. It's just a normal thing that you say, but it solidifies a negative tendency that you have in your life. For example, I'll try. Someone asks you about your promotion. Are you gonna promote to executive? Are you gonna promote to diamond? I'm gonna try, or maybe, or we'll see how it goes. But those kind of words are speaking that negativity into your life. And I promise you, we have never had a single person who said, when we ask them how they're gonna do this month, what the promotion is, how the promotion's going, and we ask them and they say, I'll try, or maybe, or well, I'm doing the best I can. The second we hang up the phone, or the second whatever happens, we're marking out the list. Because I promise you, you're not going to promote this month, maybe next month. But when you say, I'll try, maybe, or anything like that, we have never had a single person, we were talking about this earlier, never a single person who actually hit that rank. Because by speaking that into your mind or out into existence, you've given yourself permission to fail, basically.
Yeah.
You take it over.
And I mean, I think it's just so important to remember, like, no one pays you for trying. They pay you for delivering.
Exactly.
And there's really no such thing as trying if we really get down to it. Like, trying is basically just like trying to graciously upfront say it's not going to happen. I think that so often we don't actually want to come out and say, I don't believe I can do it. So instead we say, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see what I can do. But here's the thing. You either try or you do. There's no in between. And so instead of saying things like, I'm going to try my best, say, I'm going to do my best. I mean, there's really not a big difference in that. Like, as far as like, you shouldn't have a problem saying, I'm going to do my best. Like, I think we all want to do our best. But like what Zach is trying to say is, like, get in the habit where you catch yourself and you don't say those little things anymore. Also saying things like, nobody's answering me, nobody's responding, I'm trying so hard and nothing's working. Those are things that have to be removed from your vocabulary if you want to promote. I'm telling you guys, like, I could say those things too. I know you guys think like, I pick up my phone, I answer a message and people sign. That's not how it works. Like, I have had so many Fridays, you guys, where I'm in my office and I'm in here following up for a few hours. My eyes are about to pop out of my head.
She's stressed the heck out.
And I walk out and I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for a walk and I'm going to pray. And that is what I have trained myself to do, is if I'm feeling anxious, and I talked to several of you guys at the end of the month last night, and I told you guys this exact same thing. But that being said, get in the habit of, instead of just getting discouraged and like speaking out all the negative things that are happening, get in the habit of just going before the throne and just saying, Lord, I'm starting to get worked up. I'm starting to get stressed. I'm getting anxious. I don't know why these seeds aren't sprouting yet. I feel like I'm doing everything I can do. Can you remove this anxiety from me and replace it with your peace? That is the best prayer that you can pray if you're feeling stressed, because I'm telling you, even if he doesn't immediately let your seed sprout that second, he'll take the anxiety from you and he'll give you his peace. And then what's that going to do? That's going to allow you to enjoy the rest of your day. That's going to allow you, the next time you pick up your phone and you answer a message, you're in a better frame of mind. You're in a better headspace. You're not freaking out, stressed, and working out of a place of desperation. You're working out of a place of peace. And that is so, so crucial when it comes to promotion month. And I know it's so hard, and I know it goes against human nature, because we want results right now. And so we want things to happen right now. We want to sit there and do the work. We want to reap the harvest. But we know that that's not how it works. I'm going to use, a farmer as an analogy, because I feel like this is something that is easy to understand. But a farmer doesn't just go plant the seeds and then, wave a magic wand and then say, okay, here's my crop. Like, that's not how it happens. Like, there's a lot of TLC that goes into that, and it's a process. And he knows that. And the farmer never goes into planting season wondering if he's going to reap a harvest. He knows he's going to reap a harvest. But different things he plants sprout at different times. And it's the same thing with you and your potentials.
And there are things you do to those plants to curate that seed that really affect how much of a harvest you get. And honestly, positive self-talk is a huge fertilizer on those seeds. Huge fertilizer.
It's hard to understand like why it would make a difference, but I'm telling you, when you're in a good frame of mind and you're in a peaceful frame of mind, and you've been asking God to take that anxiety, give you his peace, you've been doing your self-development, you're confident, you believe down to your core it's going to happen. When you're talking to a potential, you're going to have a lot better conversation, and you're going to be putting off a lot better vibes, more contagious vibes, like, oh my gosh, I need to jump on this opportunity, versus someone who is freaking out, working out of a place of desperation, and is questioning every second of every day if it's going to happen, the vibes they're giving that their potential are totally different. And they can be saying the exact same thing as this person, but the potential picks up on those, those underlying things. And so again, like if you guys wonder why I sound like a Nazi in the chats and on the, lives in the team page about self-development, it's because I know that nothing will happen if you're not doing your self-development. And Zach will back me up on this. The months that I don't do as much self-development, and guys, I've never had a month that I've done no self-development, but the months that I've done not as much are my worst months. They're my worst enrolling months. They're my worst months as far as any forward motion progress. But the months that I do the most are the months that things happen. And so I've just kind of gotten to a point where I'm like, well, let's just skip the part where I don't do what I'm supposed to do and don't do as much, and let me just do it. And so I encourage you, like if that's something that is a hang up for you, that you're not doing the amount of self-development, just decide right now. Just decide right now, like, okay, I trust Brittany. I know she wouldn't steer me wrong. She's telling me I've got to do mega self-development this month. I'm going to do it. And I promise you, you'll come at the end of the month and you'll realize that it's a totally different month that you've had than the previous months.
100%. So like recap. All right. So mindset's huge. Absolutely. If you're gonna maximize your promotion month, you have to have a really strong mindset.
And guard your words.
And guard your words 100%. Second of all, yes, definitely watch your words. And then third, and I think this is huge, okay? Because this is so easy to do. We've done it, like you're all susceptible to it. Whether you have one person underneath you or 100 or thousands, you are so susceptible to this, and this can kill a promotion. I mean, absolutely ruin it. It is management mode. You cannot just lead and manage your team into your promotion. You have to hunger and thirst for your own promotion. Because if you aren't busting your tail, as hard as you can, pushing yourself to enroll as many people, I promise you, if you're not pushing for that promotion, your team won't either. They see you. It's not like they're watching you and just consciously doing what you're doing, but it is just contagious. Your work ethic, however hard you're pushing, is exactly how hard your team will push.
Well, and actually, I just want to tack on to that. Your team statistically will only do about a third of what you're doing.
Yep.
So if you're kind of taking a step back, they're going to take a step back way over here. And so that is why it is so important to be the hardest worker on your team. I'm telling you,
take extreme ownership. That's what we talk.
Yeah, you want to take extreme ownership. This is, at the end of the day, your business. Yes, you want to take as many people along with you as you possibly can. As many people as are going to come for the ride, you want to take them with you. But at the end of the day, you cannot get hung up because people aren't doing what you hoped they would do.
Yep.
And if there's anything that we can say, so much more will happen when you are just in a frame of mind where you are willing and you have that deep belief down to your core that it's going to happen, and you're working hard no matter what anyone else on your team is doing. So much can happen, as opposed to you getting waylaid over them not doing anything. And you're like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. No one's working. Nothing's going on. Like, I'm telling you guys, like when we went Ruby, from just the first time, not this time. When we went Ruby, we first started, it took us 4 months to go Ruby. And so I told you guys that we learned a lot. We have learned the hard way for sure on a lot of things. The first time we went Ruby, it took us 4 months, and we were the only people working on our team. We didn't have one single person. And back then it was the old charting system. So it wasn't the new chart where you just need 3 people. It was 5 people you needed to go Ruby, and all 5 of the people were not working. And so,
we had to beg and borrow and steal to get them to sign in.
Yeah, I had to literally, make some of them sign. So that being said though, I spent a lot of unnecessary time like begging them to work, like, oh my gosh, like, let's just like get your first post up and do this and do this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. But it was too far. It came to a point where I literally was begging them to work and they didn't want to work. Yeah. And it took me, flash forward in the business, hindsight's 2020, to look back and realize like all that time that I, was begging them to work, I could have just been out working. Like I could have been finding new blood. So it took me 4 months to go Ruby. I filled all the volume myself, literally did not have one person working on my team. The month I went Ruby, God brought me my first runner, and she and I ran all the way from Ruby to Diamond, just the 2 of us. There wasn't a single person working on our team. She, the month that I went Diamond, she went Ruby, Zach went Emerald. She filled her side and I filled the other side. And
so amazing.
And God provided, you guys, but I'm telling you, it took me getting in that frame of mind that I can't sit here and convince myself that it's not going to happen because no one's working.
Yep.
That's just simply not how this works. Like you have to take that extreme ownership. And I'm telling you, when we get in that frame of mind that we're going to do our best, no matter what our circumstances look like, God will bless your efforts. I'm telling you, like, he sees your heart. Man looks at the outside, God sees your heart. And he knows when you're showing up when no one else is. He knows when you're coming in, you're putting in the work when no one else is. And so that hard work is never going to be in vain. But like Jordan just said in the chat, no one wants your promotion more than you do.
Promise.
So if you're waiting on them to, come up to the plate and run with you and run as hard as you're going to be waiting a long time, because they're not going to take extreme ownership of your promotion like you are. And so, it's refreshing when you find people that want to run with you and, want to be a part of the team. There's nothing more refreshing than that. But until you find that, you have to step up to the plate, take extreme ownership, and watch how God swoops in and provides. When you don't get so focused on what you don't have, focus on what you do have. Mm-hmm. And again, maybe for some of you, you've got a team of 20, but there's one person working. Okay, focus on the one. God can do a lot more with your yes and their yes than he can with the other 19 who aren't doing anything. If maybe you're brand new and you've signed 3 people and none of them are working, keep going. You just have no idea as you're signing customers and you're filling volume, when God's going to bring you that person that has been seeing your hustle and is like, hey, like, they're clearly going somewhere. I want to jump in with them. And that's kind of leads us to one of the next things we want to talk about is people want to follow someone who knows where they're going. So deep down to your core, the number one thing you've got to do to make your promotion happen is you have to believe it's going to happen. If you're doubting, if the beginning of the month you wake up on fire and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going diamond this month, I'm going double diamond, I'm going triple diamond, and all that's great, but then something happens the first week in the month. Maybe someone quits, maybe a customer that you were thinking was going to stay ordering turns their auto shipment off. No matter what it is, you have a few just challenges that come your way, and then all of a sudden now you're questioning. Now all of a sudden you're wondering, can it still happen? That is, I would say, one of the biggest things we see get in the way of someone's promotion is digging up and doubt what they once had planted in faith. If you woke up on the 1st believing you could do it, you need to still believe it on the 10th. You need to still believe it on the 20th. You need to still believe it on the 25th when you look in eSuite and there's a lot of declines and the numbers are less than you thought. Because I'm telling you, when you have that firm, unshakable resolve and you have that unwavering faith and you believe down to your core that God will make a way, he will. I woke up, you guys, the last day of the month, just like yesterday, 700 and something BV from Emerald. And you know what? As the day went on, there like so many customers were coming in things that I couldn't quite explain. There was like literally a 180 BV customer that came in at like 3 o'clock, like crazy stuff that just kept shaving that number down. But if I would have woken up on the last day of the month and been like, well, I'm 789 BV away, it's not going to happen, I would have missed out. Yep. But instead, I took a deep breath and I was like, Lord, I know you didn't bring us this far to only bring us this far. And I'm just going to be really real with you guys. I prayed and I said, Lord, I want to show my team this can be done. I want to show them that this can be done, that we can go Emerald in 6 weeks of opening this account. I want them to see your hand on this team. I want them to see what's possible when we just don't stop believing. And guys, he provided. And the last order that came in was literally about 10 o'clock that night. And so don't rush God's timing. Like I'm telling you, sometimes he's testing us and he's wanting to make sure that we actually still have faith, because it's really easy to have faith on July 1st. It's really easy to wake up on the 1st and say, this is the month, I'm going diamond. But it's a lot more challenging to have that faith when you don't see, the reflection necessarily in eSuite on the 15th or on the 25th or whatever. So I just encourage you, like, start today with making a decision that you are promoting, no matter what happens this month, no matter what challenges happen, no matter who says something mean to you, no matter who quits, no matter, what happens with a customer, no matter if you have follow-up Friday this Friday and no one answers you back, no matter what happens, make a commitment that your faith is unshakable, that you're going to be so strong in your belief that it is going to happen. And I'm telling you, when you're least expecting it and you stay strong through those valleys, God will bless you. Every time we ever have a breakthrough, it's always after we go through a valley. We go through a week where it just seems like we're just planting, and nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we have this breakthrough. We'll sign 3 distributors and several big customers. And I know that wouldn't happen if we would have been out of shape, the week before when nothing was happening. And so I hope that speaks to someone, because I just want you guys to know that we're not immune to things not going right. There's a lot of things that don't go right in our business. Every month. There's people that quit that maybe I didn't see coming, that I didn't think they would quit. There's, someone that says something negative that on a day that I least expect. Like it happens to us too. We're human. But we've just learned that, no matter what happens, like God made us a promise 3 years ago when he brought us this business, and he's by no means done yet. And that we're just getting started. We believe that we have the greatest team in the company. Hello, top 20.
That's right.
And we believe that he has so much left to do through this team. And we believe that our team is chosen. We believe that our team is covered by his love and by his grace. And we know that if we just stay close to him, that everything will be okay. And so that's why some of you might call me freaking out, and I just listen. And I'm like, okay, it's going to be okay. Let's just keep going. And you're probably wondering, like, does she not even hear what I'm saying? It's not that at all. It's just that we've seen enough stuff happen, and
this will pass.
And we've seen him come through every time. And so I just encourage you, like, no matter what's happening, whether it's things in your personal life, whether it's things with your job, whether it's, you know, health issues, whether it's relationships, whether it's stuff on the business, someone on your team, whatever struggles you're facing, like, get in the frame of mind that God's not going to leave you high and dry. That's not who he is. It's not consistent with his character. And if you believe that down to your core, then it makes it so much simpler to pick yourself up and keep going when things don't seem to be going the way that you would hope they would be going. So what else did you have?
You know, just with my last thing is, don't be afraid to be a little bit weird. So like our house, when it's promotion month, we are Ambassador Diamond, we are Presidential Diamond, not just on our mirror. No, we freaking put it all over the house, door jams, everything. We have our income goal spoken that we make $60-something thousand a month, and it's plastered all over our house. People who come to our house probably think we're the most arrogant people they've ever met.
We have one.
Who freaking does that?
But we have one taped to my desk right here. We have these taped literally all over the house. Like, I have one taped on my desk. I have one taped, like, literally when you go into my bathroom, like, on the wall above the toilet paper. Like, if you go into my bedroom, it's on the door jamb. Like,
you go out to the pool, it's on the window.
Yeah, we have these literally everywhere. And I know that some of you are like, what's the point of having this 20 times? The point is when you're having a bad day, and you have this everywhere, you have to walk around your house, on your refrigerator, wherever, and you see it, you're reminded, I need to suck it up. I'm not done.
I've got goals.
Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, like, nothing keeps you focused. Nothing brings things back in perspective when you're reminded with what you set out to do, and that you're not there yet, and that you have work to do, and that this is just a little hiccup in the road, and that you can keep going. And so I encourage you, like, get really specific. Our little sticky note for our income goal says, I earn well over, and the well over is from Pam Souter. She said, don't you just say the number, say you own well over. I earn well over $62,000 a month. And then we had the month we were going ambassador all over. I am Ambassador Diamond. Now we have I am Diamond 2.0 written all over. But we have everything that we, you know, that we have that we still want to do. We have it all over our house. When we were still going debt free back in the spring, we paid off all of our credit cards in the spring. But before that, we had I am debt free, I am debt free, I'm debt free all over. And so whatever it is, like, put it all over your house. So that way, when things happen and you have a bad day, you're reminded, like, this is so small in the grand scheme of my life. And I promise you, like, when you go debt free, guys, we paid off over $120,000 of credit card debt in the spring. When you go debt free, you're not going to care about what Susie said 6 months ago. You're not going to care about Sally, who you poured your heart and soul into, and she quit your team anyways. You're not going to care, because it's all going to have made sense to you. You're going to see that God brought the right people. And sometimes God takes something from us that we don't really quite understand. There was people, you guys, around the time I went triple, that left my business, and I was like, what in the world? But you know what, if I would have gotten too upset over it, and I would have gotten, you know, let that just completely get me down, I would have missed out on so many of the blessings that came in the coming months. And so many of you guys right now, I'm looking at so many names in the chat, God brought in those months after a few people left, and after a few people left, excuse me. And so you have to just trust that if he takes something away, it's because he has something better. You have to trust that he sees so much more than you see, and that sometimes he's protecting us. Not everyone's rejection is a curse, you guys. That goes for friendships, that goes for relationships, that goes with someone quitting. Not everyone's rejection is a curse, and not everyone's acceptance is a blessing. And so when you realize that, you're exactly where you need to be. And if you are who you need to be, he'll take care of the rest. He'll bring the right people. So don't sell yourself short by hanging on to things that he's clearly trying to say, trust me and let me have. I'm going to bring you something better. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the gist of what we wanted to say.
I think so too.
Just stay in the right frame of mind. Believe that it can happen. Believe that if he'll do it for anyone else, he'll do it for you.
Yep.
You've just got to have the right attitude. The last thing that I want to say is that this, like, promoting and everything else that, you know, comes with, is not anything special that you need to do. It's not any special skill that you have to nail down pat. Guys, we're not the best at any specific thing of social media. Like there's things we're still learning day to day. We're still learning to take better pictures. We're still learning to, do so many things differently. But what we do know that we are in 100% control of, no matter what changes, is our mindset. And so commit today that you're going to have the most phenomenal attitude, that your attitude is going to be better than anyone else's on the team. Because I'm telling you, if you've got the right attitude, it doesn't matter if everything else you're still learning and you're still growing in, because you can figure that stuff out as you go. But you've got to have your attitude right. You've got to have your heart in the right place, and everything else will follow and suit after that. So.
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't see any questions in the chat, but if anybody has any quick questions, feel free to put them. But we just wanted to take a second and just pray over you guys and pray over your businesses for July. We believe that big things are happening in July, and we just are so excited for what is coming for our team. And we just encourage you guys just to take these things, just implement them. They're simple things that anyone, no matter what place you're in right now, can implement and can immediately start doing. It just all starts with a decision. It starts with a decision right now that you're going to promote, that you're going to trust God for it, that you're going to let him bless the work of your hands, and that you're going to give him things to bless, that you're going to lay it all out on the table. And I promise you, you will be amazed at where you end July if you just stay true to those things. So I'm going to let Zach pray and close us out, and then we'll hop off.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all these people that have gathered here today. And I just thank you for this team that you've brought to us, God. I thank you for every single one of them, Lord. You see the plan that you have for them. And God, we just pray that each and every one of us would just realize how great we are in your eyes, Lord, and just seek you every single day. Father, we just thank you so much for all the promotions we had this last month. God, I pray that you would just work in everyone's life here, God. Just bring them through these tough times and help them to just live to their fullest potential, God. That's what we're all trying to do. Father, thank you so much for everything you've done for us. We love you and we thank you. And help us all have a great rest of the week. Peace and pray.
Amen. We love you guys. We will talk to you guys later, and I'll get this recording uploaded. I hope everyone has just an incredible night, and we just can't wait to crush July with you guys. Bye, guys.